Hey everyone, this is Jim Grisanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team. We're back here in Brussels for day 2 of the MySQL day, and I'm here with Shlomi Noach. Shlomi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. How are you?
Did I get your name okay?
Perfect.
Okay, good. Shlomi, you're from Israel, and you work at GitHub. And I assume that if you're at this conference here, everyone's talking about MySQL. Assumption that there's probably a lot of MySQL over at GitHub.
Yeah, that's true. I've been at GitHub for the past 4 years. I'm part of the database infrastructure team, and our team works on all things databases, and MySQL is an essential part in our infrastructure. GitHub runs on top of MySQL while your Git repos are on Git repositories. We use MySQL for all the metadata. So all your issues, pull requests, users, organizations, reviews, comments, everything is on MySQL, including the metadata of the Git operations themselves. So like every commit gets listed on MySQL, every push, etc. So MySQL is an essential backend for the website.
Oh, essentially, I was also going to comment that that's a substantial amount of metadata.
It is indeed. I don't know that GitHub is like one of the largest MySQL setups around, but we're certainly very busy, and the availability is critical to the website's operation. We do need to respond very quickly with low latency and with high reliability to web requests. If MySQL goes down, the website is down. So that pretty much illustrates how important MySQL is for us.
How long have you been working with MySQL?
That would be nearly 20 years now. I've been working with MySQL since 3.23. That's pretty old. But my more serious work has been since 2009, when I started to get involved in the community. I began to write some open source tools and began blogging. That's when I started to learn MySQL more deeply. I used to do some consulting and training.
So that's a long time, though. So I'm wondering, do you have any feeling on the evolution? 20 years is a long time. Do you have any feeling on the evolution of the technology over the years?
I do, and it's interesting because you look around and there's a lot of new technologies that are coming and going. You look at JavaScript frameworks or web frameworks in general, and NoSQL and data stores, and things come and go, and sometimes so quickly. And it's interesting that we have had MySQL throughout these 20 plus years that I've been around, and it's something that you can always rely on, right? You always use MySQL somewhere in your backend. So first thing to note is how stable this is, or how persistent this technology is. And you don't need to, while it's evolving, and it's evolving in many ways, you don't need to chase the destruction and creation of complete new frameworks to get a good grasp of this technology. It did indeed involve much in these 20 years, of course. Some problems remain the same, but we've seen some massive development. All things replication and performance, of course. These are the things we always look forward in new versions. But I'm looking into some very interesting usability improvements in recent years, and.
You also mentioned that just more recently you've been getting more involved with the community itself. Any feeling on how the community has evolved?
I just love the MySQL community. So it's a very strong and very consistent community. The people around here, the people who come to FOSDEM, to Pekona Live events, to many of the MySQL conferences around, we're it's kind of a group that's stuck together for quite a few years. People know each other, people help each other. I think one of the things that most characterize this community is that people are very open with each other and are able and are happy to share their thoughts, findings. Did you look into that technology? Yes, and let me tell you about what I found, and things you should watch for and things that you should use. And it's so helpful.
Now, was that a characteristic of community in general, or this community? Because presumably you're involved with other communities as well, and various other technologies.
I'm sure it may characterize many other communities, but again, I think one of the most interesting things is how long this specific community has been around, and that means a lot. Like, there's people here that walk back like 12 years for me, and we've all been through the changes and have all struggled through the same pains throughout quite a long time, and that has a lot of impact. There's long-time friends here in this community.
I've noticed that. I've actually noticed that. It's really good to see. Now, what about this event here? Do you come to this event each year?
I do. I think this is my third time for this event. So it's really nice. So it's organized by Oracle, right? It's called the FOSDEM MySQL Day. What's special about this event is that it's an opportunity to hear firsthand from the Oracle engineers about the latest and in-depth developments, like just throwing around some things I heard yesterday about optimizing the redo logs and the removal of mutexes and locks, and benchmarking replication in the cloud, and stuff that is normally when you go to conferences, you don't get that amount of authoritative explanation of how things are working deep down. And so that's an interesting opportunity.
Now, what about FOSDEM this weekend? Do you come to FOSDEM each year?
I do. I think this year will be my 5th time.
So what should I expect? This will be my first.
A huge mess that works amazingly well. So
it's an unorganized conference. So is it? Well, so it's not like an unconference, right? Because it's all the talks are scheduled, right? So it's not an unconference in that respect. So, but people have told me that it's kind of unorganized.
It's well organized. That's the magic of it. That you come onto this ULB, the Brussels University, and it's a free event. You don't need to register. You don't need to tell anyone you're showing up. You just show up. If there's room, you can walk in.
So as a project manager, that would just, how do you plan for something like that?
That's what's amazing. I completely appreciate the organizers of FOSDEM. The number of attendees is one of the highest. We don't know exactly how many people come because no registration required, but estimations are between 7,000 to 10,000 people throughout this weekend. And some of the rooms are so packed, the lines outside the room have more people than the room's capacity. And, lunch lines can be long, but the event is really high quality. Like, every talk is recorded. It's very well managed. There's people in charge of each room. It's so well organized that things pretty much work very well, surprisingly well, given the mass and scale and the fact that it's free. So I think maybe the most interesting thing about FOSDEM, there's like dozens of tracks, right? It's not about databases, it's not about Kubernetes, it's not about any specific technology, it's about all things open source. You can find things starting from community to distributions to various technologies that, there's no common conference to go to hear about those things. And here everything merges together in 2 days. And it's an amazing opportunity to meet people who are not in your immediate, like the MySQL people are here, right? These are my immediate community, but FOSDEM is an opportunity to meet with people in the greater community, and that's pretty amazing.
I'm really sold. I'm really looking forward to it. Well, Shlomi, lunch is just actually wrapping up here, so thank you very much for coming by. We got the rest of the day to go to for sessions here. It's really a great meeting you, and we'll see you guys back here for some more interviews, and obviously over the weekend at the FOSDEM. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it.